to Learning English with Podcast Conversation. I'm your host, Tony, and today we have a truly inspiring topic. Have you ever felt like you needed a change, a fresh start, or maybe even a whole new you? Well, today we're diving deep into the question, are you ready to reinvent yourself? And to help us explore this exciting idea, I'm thrilled to welcome our special guest, Jenny. Jenny, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Tony. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to talk about this because I think it's something everyone thinks about at some point.
Absolutely. It's a universal feeling, isn't it? So, Jenny, to start us off, when we talk about reinventing yourself, what does that really mean to you? Is it about changing everything completely or something more subtle?
That's a great question, Tony. For me, reinvention isn't always about a 180-degree turn. It's not like you suddenly become a different person. Sometimes it's about making small, intentional changes that lead to a bigger transformation over time. It could be changing your career, learning a new skill, improving your health, or even just shifting your mindset. It's about becoming a better version of yourself, or perhaps rediscovering a part of yourself that you'd forgotten.
I like that. Rediscovering a part of yourself. That sounds less scary than, poof, you're a new person. So it's more of an evolution rather than a revolution in many cases.
Exactly! Think about it, Tony. We're always changing, right? Like, the person I was 5 years ago is not exactly the same person I am today. We learn, we grow, we adapt. Reinvention is just taking control of that process, rather than letting it happen by accident.
That's a very good point. So what makes people want to reinvent themselves? Is there a common trigger?
Well, it varies a lot. But often it comes from a feeling of being stuck or unfulfilled. Maybe someone feels bored with their job, or they've reached a certain age and realize they haven't pursued a dream. Life events can also be big triggers, like a significant birthday, a job loss, a relationship change, or even a health scare. Sometimes it's simply a desire for personal growth, just wanting to learn more or experience more.
Ah, yes, the stuck feeling. I think many listeners can relate to that. It's like you're on a path, and suddenly you look around and think, is this really where I want to be? What are some of the biggest fears people face when they consider reinventing themselves?
Oh, there are so many fears. The biggest one is probably the fear of failure. What if I try and it doesn't work out? What if I make a mistake? People also worry about what others will think. Will my friends understand? Will my family approve? There's also the comfort zone. It's safe and familiar, even if it's not perfect. Stepping out of it can be really scary.
The comfort zone is a big one. It's like wearing old, comfy shoes, even if they're falling apart, because you know they won't pinch your toes. But new shoes, they could be amazing or a disaster.
Laughs. Exactly. And it's true. But you'll never know if you don't try on the new shoes, right? That's where mindset comes in. Believing in yourself, even a little bit, can make a huge difference. You have to tell yourself, I can do this, even when it feels impossible.
So true. I remember a few years ago I decided I wanted to learn to play the guitar. I'd always loved music, but I thought, I'm too old now. Or, I don't have enough time. But then I thought, what's the worst that can happen? I learn a few chords, maybe annoy my neighbors a bit, chuckles, and I started with just 15 minutes a day. It was a very small step, but it was a reinvention of my hobby life.
Wow, that's a great example, Tony. And look at you now, a podcast host and a guitarist. That's exactly it. Small steps. My own story, when I first started my business, I was working in a completely different field. I was in marketing, and I enjoyed it, but deep down, I always wanted to be my own boss and help people directly. It felt like a huge leap. I thought, who am I to start a business? The fear was massive. But I started by just taking one online course, then another, then talking to people who had done it. I didn't quit my job immediately. I built it up slowly.
That's a brilliant example of not needing to jump off a cliff, but rather building a bridge. So many people think it has to be this dramatic overnight change, but it sounds like consistency and small actions are key.
Absolutely. It's like building a house. You don't just put up the roof first, right? You lay the foundation, brick by brick. For anyone listening, maybe you want to change your career. You don't have to quit tomorrow. Maybe you can start by updating your resume, taking an online course, or networking with people in the new field. Those are all small acts of reinvention.
And what about the what if it doesn't work scenario? How do you deal with that feeling?
Yes, the past per what if. I think it's important to accept that not everything will go perfectly. There will be setbacks. I remember one time when I was trying to launch a new product, it completely flopped. Nobody bought it. I felt so discouraged, like a total failure. I thought, see, I'm not meant for this. But after a few days, I realized it was a learning experience. I learned what not to do. It wasn't the end of my reinvention journey. It was just a detour.
That's a very powerful perspective. Turning a CHAC, failure, into a at CHACS, learning experience. It's not about being perfect from the start, but about being persistent.
Exactly. And often, those setbacks make us stronger. We learn resilience. And it's okay to ask for help, too. You don't have to do it all alone. A friend, a mentor, or even a community like Learning English with Podcast Conversation can be a great support system.
That's a fantastic point, Jenny. So we've talked about what reinvention is, why people do it, and some of the challenges. Now, for our listeners who are thinking, yes, I'm ready to reinvent myself, what are some key takeaways or actionable tips they can start with today?
Okay, I have 3 key takeaways. First, Nostarms start with self-reflection. Asterisks. Before you can change anything, you need to understand yourself. Ask yourself, what truly makes me happy? What do I want more of in my life? And what do I want less of? What are my strengths? And what skills do I want to develop? Spend some quiet time thinking, or even journaling. This clarity is your compass.
Self-reflection, that's powerful. You can't reach a destination if you don't know where you're starting from.
Precisely. My second point is, take small, consistent steps. Asterisks. Don't try to change everything at once. That's overwhelming and usually leads to giving up. If you want to learn a new language, try 10 minutes a day. If you want a new career, research one company each week. These small actions build momentum and confidence. Remember my guitar story, Tony?
Smiles. And my guitar story. Small steps, huge impact. I love that.
And finally, my third takeaway. Embrace the journey, not just the destination. Asterix reinvention is not a one-time event. It's a continuous process of learning and growing. There will be good days and bad days, successes and setbacks. Celebrate your small victories, learn from your challenges, and be kind to yourself throughout the process. It's about enjoying the path you're creating.
Wow, Jenny, those are truly insightful and actionable points. Self-reflection, small steps, and embracing the journey. I think that gives our listeners a clear roadmap to begin their own reinvention.
I hope so. And remember, everyone has the power to reinvent themselves. It's never too late to start creating a life you truly want.
That's a wonderful message to end on. Jenny, thank you so much for this engaging and inspiring conversation. Your insights and stories have been incredibly helpful.
My pleasure, Tony. It's been a fantastic discussion.
And to all our listeners, thank you for joining us on Learning English with Podcast Conversation. If you're feeling inspired to reinvent yourself, remember Jenny's advice. Start small, reflect, and enjoy the adventure. We're here to help you on your English learning journey and perhaps on your personal growth journey too. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep reinventing. Goodbye for now.